and love and understand where a person messed up and take them under their wing and say, well, okay, you messed up right here, let me help you out. But instead, it seemed like a lot of these entities, they're going at each other like, well, you messed up and I'm going to expose your messed up and you're this, you're that. I'm calling you all these things.
The same people who are like trying to expose somebody, they're going to be exposed too. Like,
is that?
Just be quiet.
And the same people that's exposing people is people who had some crazy mess in the past. It's like, well, somebody gave you some kind of grace where you was able to come back and still be who you are, but you're not offering that same grace to these other people, and you're just calling them out their name and all that, and it's crazy. What's going on, everybody? This is Teddy Campbell with Unadulterated and my partner Bianca. So we with you guys again doing another video. So this video we want to talk about church beef, because it seems like a lot of craziness is going on the internet and in person and stuff like that, especially with this election and what's going on with all the different I would say disagreements between different parties. So we would just want to do a real quick video.
Yeah, so you think, like, I guess really when you say church beef, it's probably pretty much kind of revealing, I guess with the election and stuff that's going on, a lot of times when it's a heated debate or something that's going on in the world, say like if you think way back to when George Floyd was killed, it was just something that was creating a lot of tension. And so maybe when there's that tension in the air, it kind of reveals some other things that are existing, especially in church, because, you know, people begin to speak on it and begin to like rant or whatever else. So I think this is where it's coming from. I don't know any, or I don't have any specific that I want to speak on at this point. But, you know, if you think about it, all those, you know, situations where people are like kind of coming against each other, it comes from the tension, I think.
Well, the way I look at it, it just seemed like 2020 been a mess, man. It seemed like it's exposing things all over the place, like not even just in one area, but just like in different areas. Like even with this church thing, like right now we're in a position where the country, I mean, the news has already announced that Joe Biden is the president, but we have a president, Donald Trump, that's, you know, confuses to concede to the whole situation. So
he refuses.
Exactly. So he's saying that pretty much that there's a lot of corruption and stuff like that. And I mean, that's not what this video is about, but it's amazing how the reaction of the different people or the different leaderships of church and stuff like that are reacting to all this what's going on.
Yeah, it really does kind of expose also that, you know, like I said, that tension, a lot of times we're supposed to be, the people, the leaders of the church are supposed to be, or seen as being more grounded and level-headed. But, you know, when situations present themselves and they're out ranting and, you know, going against one leader or the other, when really I was thinking that we should all just come together, or this should be a time of togetherness with all of the challenges that we're facing, that, hey, we can't be out here going against each other that way. It's not, I mean, it's really not conducive to the situation that's going on right now.
I think the biggest problem is that a lot of people was trying to, you know, some people would say prophesize, some people would say predict, but a lot of people tried to put predictions on where they thought the election was going to go. So now that we're in a situation where it looks like it's going to lead to another way, you know, a lot of people are holding them to those predictions. Like you predicted, you prophesied that Trump was going to win. And here we are in a situation where the news is pretty much telling the whole world or the whole country that Biden win. So they're pretty much questioning them, like, are you really hearing from God because you said that Trump was going to win? And as of the way it looks right now, it looks like Biden's going to win.
Right? That's what it looks like. So, I don't know. Like, should that be a time that you just come again, or you stop believing, or following leadership that you're used to going behind, or I don't. I mean, it really, at the end of the day, what does it matter who predicted what or who prophesied what? I don't feel like it matters. Sometimes people, like they've been saying, they missed it or whatever, and sometimes we can kind of get our own agendas confused with sometimes what the Lord is saying, because our mind or our heart wants what it wants as well. So I don't think it's every time that you judge somebody else, you'll be judged the same way. So if I'm pointing the finger and saying you said this and this and that, well, you're going to be held to your words too, the same thing that you say. I just think it's not that serious. Why is it a big deal either way? Like, I mean, I really want to know, is it a big deal to you?
I mean, me personally, it's not, because me as a Christian, I know that there's many days that I'm on point and there's days that I'm not. Mm-hmm. There's days that I feel like I'm close to God, and there's days that I don't. I feel like I'm close to God. And I feel like that's just the journey of being a Christian. Like, you're not going to get it right every day.
Or the journey of faith, you're not going to. Any walk of faith would be that you're most definitely not going to get it right every day. But, in every experience you live, you learn, and you gain wisdom that way. So, I think we're being really serious about it at this point, but it is kind of entertaining,
Yeah, they, let me tell you something. They throwing that shade out there. If y'all want to see the real, how would you say like the Atlanta Housewives, but the church version? These people's going at each other's neck right now. They calling out names. They exposing people, telling people that they false prophets and all this stuff. It's getting real serious right now.
Yeah, it's actually like a hot mess, like a poop show.
It's crazy, they on Twitter calling out people by their names, which is crazy, because I thought that Christians were supposed to operate in love, but it seemed like they operating in judgment, because it's like, okay, well, you slipped out right now, and I'm gonna expose where you messed up, where I thought that's not what a Christian is supposed to do. Yeah. I thought we were supposed to operate in love and understand where a person messed up and take them under their wing and say, well, okay, you messed up right here, let me help you out. But instead, it seemed like a lot of these entities, they're going at each other like, well, you messed up and I'm going to expose you messed up, and you're this, you're that. I'm calling you all these names.
The same people who are like trying to expose somebody, they're going to be exposed to, like,
is that?
Just be quiet.
And the same people that's exposing people is people who had some crazy mess in the past. It's like, well, somebody gave you some kind of grace where you was able to come back and still be who you are. Yeah. But you're not offering that same grace to these other people, and you're just calling them out their name and all that. And it's crazy.
Yeah, it's just a mess. I heard somebody say there are a lot of leaders that came into 2020, wouldn't be leaders going out. And so, like I said, or like you even said, that it's being revealed who people really are. And then the people are given a choice at this point to say if they're going to continue to follow that type of leadership, or, a lot of times with the leaders, if the leader's messy, sometimes that's the type of following they have. But, right now, I think it's just time to choose, like, which way are you going to go with this? And, do you want the entertainment, or is it like, what are you in it for?
Exactly.
Yeah, so.
Well, I'm gonna say something bold, because from the outside looking in, I've been going to church for a long time, pretty much since I was a kid. So I kind of got some roots inside of me, even though some things may not look right, and I'll still have what I've learned growing up. But I look at it from a standpoint of somebody who's just now getting into, like, I hate to use religion because I don't like religion, but getting to know God. But if you look at it from the outside looking in, if I didn't know God for myself and I looked at how these people are acting, I would not want to know God, because that's not the God that I want to know. Yeah. Where I make a mistake and he's constantly judging me because I made a mistake. And that's the picture that these people are painting pretty much, where, okay, you thought you heard God and you made a mistake, so you're an evil person. You need to just give it up and all this stuff. And I mean, that's a tough place to be, because it's like, well, you're showing me if I make a mistake and that God is just gonna throw me away and I'm a bad person. I don't want no God like that.
Yeah, well, the good thing is that people are not God. And so one thing I would say, it would be one thing if you came to this person in private and tried to, say, hey, what happened? Or, maybe you laugh it up and joke about it and say, okay, I missed it, whatever. And it's not that heavy of a situation because we all continue living. Life is still here and we have chances to make mistakes and correct them. That would be one thing. But to to condemn somebody is a whole nother thing, because there is no condemnation in God, because if anything, one thing you can be for certain is that he will convict you if nobody ever says anything. If I'm doing something with an agenda or a certain motive and the bottom falls out, God and the Holy Spirit will convict me. I don't have to have any man say anything to me. And I'm sure you can witness that for yourself, that he'll convict you. And who are we to sit here and cast down anyone? Unless I could see if you went to the person, individually, that would be a different story.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. But unfortunately, these people, they feel it necessary to go online. They feel it necessary to go on social media, expose people, expose names. And I mean, they didn't go privately and talk to these people, but they want to make a show out of it and a public display of trying to expose you or make you feel a certain type of way. And me personally, I'm not cool with that.
Yeah. So anyway, that's about that on that, because just to say that it's not always a good idea to go online and start, ranting or going, even if it wasn't about church, just in general, going against another individual. I mean, what is your agenda behind it? Are you trying to get some kind of clout, or what are you trying to get out of this, that you would even go online and smear somebody's name for the masses? It's ridiculous, and we need to grow up, is what I would say. And that's it.
Yeah, I mean, it's making the church look divided, which is not where the church should be. So it's sad.
And I think there is a real church, and then there's a people who pretend to be, the church. And so the separation is definitely being made. And so anyway, like I said, I am grateful for any revelation that we receive in this time, so that we know who and what we're dealing with and how to move forward.
Exactly. So we appreciate you guys for checking us out. This is Unadulterated You on YouTube. We also have platforms on Instagram, and we have an email address
at unadulteratedU@gmail.com. Feel free to send us an email, or maybe comment below if you have an opinion on the topic we just discussed. We look forward to hearing from you guys, and until next time.
We see y'all next time, and give us more comments and more ideas so we can have more content to talk about. We want to know what you guys want to talk about. This channel is not just about us.
Most definitely.